Welcome back to another pro player coaching, and in this part of the series we have one of the most requested ones for some bizarre reason, and that is Noah Greene's Burning Abyss list. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and played a few games with it, and I took somewhat of an interesting replay, and he is just going to give his insight into the deck and what he thinks about the plays and the line of plays that you should be taking and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, here's the list up on the screen. Take it away. It's basically your list card for card, so you can kind of just explain a little bit about how you feel about
minus Dragon in the side, which I think was like probably the best part, if I'm honest.
What was the best card?
The Shaddoll Dragon in the side deck. That was like
oh right, okay.
one of the best parts about the entire deck.
So other than that, like that's probably all that's missing.
But yeah, other than that, I think it's the exact same card for card, which I guess is weird because when I played this deck, obviously it was like the weekend before the list came out, but Jim said they were going to do the ARG under the new list anyway, and like everyone on every Facebook post said that Pendulum Magician was the best deck, so I just assumed that's what everyone would be playing.
Yeah,
so you can definitely see 3 Twin, 3 Cosmic, 3 Anti-Spell. So I think if I were to play the deck right now, it would look different from this list. But yeah, if you're playing this list, then I can like definitely give some insight on what you're doing.
What's the skill drain about? Because I felt like it hasn't really been that great for me when I've been playing, and I've played this list a lot, to be honest. And the skill drain
it's just like a win condition. You just summon Acid Golem, and it's bigger than every single card Spiral can summon.
Okay, yeah, with Acid Golem, that's true. Oh, God, that's been a while. Acid Golem skill drain luck. But yeah, let's jump into the replay here. So, what did I play against here again? I actually can't remember, but we'll see. So skip forward a bit. I lose a dice roll, and I think he chooses to go first here. This is opening hand. Discuss. Pretty shit, right? One hand trap.
It's pretty average. Yeah.
It's not great. Let's fast forward a bit. Okay, so he's playing Invoked. Now, what's your kind of mentality when you're playing against this deck?
It's tough when you're going second and you didn't draw Ash, because their monsters are just like so big.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's really hard for BA, I think, to beat Invoked, especially if they draw a lot of traps. And so obviously your Ghost Ogre here is kind of like useless.
So he's playing 60 cards. What would you be thinking at this point?
I just assume he's playing Ed's deck. Oh, so alright, this isn't Ed's deck, so it's Lightsworn.
So a tough matchup, I guess, in general, and the Ghost Ogre isn't really doing much this time.
Alistair's really good against BA, Snow's really good against BA. So, yeah, I can imagine whatever he's playing to be not easy. But there really aren't good matchups for BA, if I'm being honest. Nothing is a good matchup. Everything is uphill.
Alright, so he goes into Decode.
That was weird. He normaled Alistair first and then summoned Seraph Knight, right? So he just doesn't have...
Yeah, so he's pretty much lost his extra normal. Then he tried to like set a monster. But then I told him like you can't do that. So he probably realized like, yeah, that was kind of a misstep. So yeah, drawing another BA for hand. What's your line of play here?
You can... Alright, so let's see. He's got Alistair in hand. God, it's so rough because he has the Alistair for the normal next turn. So like,
and it's an honest as well. So
you can't crash Beatrice into the Nekaba because he just Alistair's. And Alistair's until the end of the turn, right? Not until the end of the damage step.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, well that's how I'd start for sure. This is rough. So like.
So you use Dante in this scenario, right?
Yeah, well, you have to a lot of times, especially when they have reactive cards. People will actually just like use responses on Dante for no reason. I guess just because it's been a long time. But that's something else about BA is like it's really not that great. People are just not very good. Okay, are you milled Farfa? That's a good start.
So I think I tell him chainlink 1 Farfa, chainlink 2 Rhino, just to like protect it from the link, and then it means Merkaba is now able to be Farfa'd. I think that's what I do.
I don't know, but even then, if he like Mechabuzz and negates the Rhino, then like it'd be the same thing as if he like Mechaba negated the Farfa, right, and didn't let it leave the field, and then your Rhino doesn't resolve. So if you had just made the Rhino chainlink 1, then the Farfa would either eat the Mechaba effect or just remove it from the field, and then you'd get the Rhino effect anyway.
Okay, so I should have used Rhino essentially in this scenario, and then what would so he would negate Farfa.
Well, like he might negate Farfa, he might not, but yeah, no, I think it was just like one of those things where because you milled Farfa, you just like saw the opportunity to choose the chain links and then did it because you could, which is like understandable.
I'm pretty sure I wasn't relying on milling Farfa because I have it in my hand anyway to discard.
Yeah.
And so I think I would have been able to.
Yeah. Yeah, that would if you had in your hand the discard, that'd be fine. And the good thing about this now is even if he's able to like Alistair to boost the Mechaba over the Beatrice because the Dante's under it, you can make your Beatrice chainlink 1, which is good.
Yeah. So moving on to the next turn, he does a kind of bizarre play at one point, but see how it goes. So one thing to notice as well is that he is playing 60 cards, but he's literally just been playing the invoked section of his deck, really. So I'm not too sure how this kind of changes the game plan at all in any shape or form. But I am basically just dealing with invoke cards, but I don't know, like, would you be like trying to think about other plays?
No, I wouldn't, not too much, because he's playing a 60 card deck, and all the 60 card decks, they all consist of like starter cards and then like garnets. And so considering that his hand was like Brilliant Fusion, Alistair Pass, that means his hand probably doesn't have, ride-ins, charges, foolishes, all those sort of things. So the only thing that would matter is if he draws one of those types of cards for turns. If he draws one of those types of cards for turns, so it doesn't really matter that he has like 3 cards in hand. I wouldn't really factor the 3 cards in his hand that much when you're considering what you're doing, just because you know that it's probably something either reactive or it's something like a garnet. Okay.
And he makes the big fusion here, the vanilla, with the earth and Seraph. And this is just to beat over Beatrice, but the advantage is that Beatrice is, like, you can make Dante's Chainlink 2 for the Merkaba.
And he summoned the Alistair again, so it's not in his hand, which is a little weird, unless he just has a second Alistair.
So you think that was wrong of him?
Yeah, probably, because this way, right, if you summon Pilgrim, then he can just, like, attack over it and boost, and then you have pretty much nothing.
So he's attacking with Merkaba at this point. And he I don't know, it's really bizarre, but he wants to drop Alistair before the damage step, but I don't know why. But like, if he's attacking into my Pilgrim,
I guess because he wants you to use Pilgrim, and then he'll chain Mechaba to banish the Pilgrim, so he doesn't have to discard. But then that, no, I guess that makes sense doing it that way, right? Because if he's discarding a monster to negate the Pilgrim and banish it, as opposed to him destroying it by battle, then the card that you'd be discarding out of his hand is random, whereas he just would get to pick the monster that he discards in addition to the Alistair, and he would get to replay and attack directly for 35.
So would you want to activate Pilgrim's effect here?
To discard and draw?
Yeah. So I ended up doing that.
2 cards in hand. I would do it, and then I would probably Ghost Ogre the Mechaba, right? Or does he have another invocation in hand? Do we know?
I think he put it back. But yeah, I did what you just said there. So I discard with the Pilgrim and then Ghost Ogre the Merkaba and just kind of just sacrifice the Pilgrim just to get the Merkaba off the field. So that gets banished, and then I think the Farfa. I decided to use Farfa here. I don't know if that was right or not.
Yeah, I think Skarm was probably better. If the Mechabo wouldn't have banished the Pilgrim, then it would have been really good to be able to Farfa your Pilgrim away, and when it comes back in the end phase, you could have discarded Skarm, but it did get negated, so yeah, that wasn't super great.
So wait, so
if you searched a second copy of Invocation, then that's fine because he doesn't have another Alistair in his graveyard, and this way he wouldn't be able. Oh wait, never mind. He has his extra monster zone's full anyway. So yeah, no, I just definitely would have discarded Skarm
instead of the Farfa and then not banished anything.
Yeah.
Okay, and then yeah, that means I could have searched the tour guide, I suppose.
Ah, there we go.
All right, so this is interesting. What do you go for here?
I wish I could check Graves.
I can.
Huh. All right, and then what's in his grave? All right, so.
I think I just go for a standard Dante play, but is there anything better?
The vanilla is just really weird right now. I think it's fine to make Dante just because if you're making anything to clear the big 3K guy, then you're just filling up the extra monster zone. But no, I'd definitely make Dante here because you can't make a Mechab or anything while the Earth guy is in his extra monster zone. So if you're making Dante, you're getting the Skarm Search in the end phase, and then all you can do is just attack the Dante and you get to add something back. So you should be fine here. As long as the vanilla guy is in his extra monster zone. That's definitely your win condition, actually. That's something I think is important with BA is that, like I said, people actually just have to mess up you to win. If they're playing really well, it's difficult. And so here, he's put himself in a position where he can't really advance his game state as long as this 3K vanilla is on the field. And you can sit there and literally just sponge damage. Block attacks while you get to draw into a win condition.
What would you be hoping to draw into here to really kind of make an impact?
I guess I'd have to know after to see what he does with this turn.
So he's normal summoning Alistair.
So his hand's 2 invocations now after he searches.
I'm not too sure what that other card is in his hand. I think it's Invocation. I'm not 100%. So the big guy is just attacking over. Farfa, banish the Alistair, Dante, add back. Add back Farfa. Is there anything else you'd add back? Skarm maybe, but it's my third Farfa, that's why I added that back. Is that correct?
It's weird. No, Farfa seems fine. It's weird whenever you have anti-spell up to figure out what you're going to add back. Cosmic. So obviously tour guide here.
And what do you do?
55 double invocation. You can Gram Pulse or no, it's weird because you added back Farfa. So if you could do Gram Pulse Calcab to put back both invocations, and then you get another turn of him not being able to play. But if you do that, then you only have the one Farfa in your hand, so you don't have a follow up. So it's definitely a really weird situation. The Cosmic, So you can you could Acid Golem. You could make Acid Golem crash with the 3K guy, then summon out No, that wouldn't work. Sorry, because you had the normal tour guide this turn. This is a really weird turn because Livik is already in your graveyard too.
Yeah, that Lily's gone.
This is a really weird turn.
So this is what I end up doing.
We are positive. I just want to make sure I'm positive he has 2 invocations. I'm pretty sure. I just wasn't paying attention.
So now that I've gone and watched this back again, I realize it's actually not a second invocation. So what my reasoning here is that I don't actually know what the other one is. I just know that he definitely has 1 invocation. So I pop the anti-spell and the big guy, and then I cyclone, and I have to take a risk here and hope that the one I hit is the invocation to banish it, to leave him with basically no cards. So that's the line of play I take here. So basically it clears his board, and then I have to pray that the Cosmic hits the invocation to prevent any kind of play.
Yeah, I remember he summoned a second Alistair one turn that was just on the field by itself, and his extra monster zone was full. So I didn't know if that invocation ever got used.
Do I have a Scarm search at this point?
No, he just went Torguide for Graph.
So he draws for turn and checks his grave, and then he passes. So that definitely couldn't have been
the invocation. Okay, then sorry, I wish I would have known that earlier. Then I would have given a different line of play. But I think last turn, I don't know. That was really tricky. I think it might have been on that 50-50, unless you just break sword and
I wish there was a way to check his hand and stuff on these replays, but no.
Yeah. Well, no. Whenever I'm in a game, I just check logs. But
that's quite a way back to go. Break sword, pop the field spell, and Dante, add back graph, normal graph, bar is what I go do here.
Yep.
And that's game. I can't remember what I sided, but what would you typically side for this matchup?
He's going first. You'd put in Gamma Seals. I didn't side anything for Reaper against the stack. I guess evenly matched if he's playing traps, right? At this point, you're not even sure what he's playing. You just know it's invoked cards. Evenly matched is probably fine, because there are just a lot of things you have to take out of your deck. I don't know how great Twin and Cosmic are here. So, those probably need to go out. So I think you might just end up putting in, evenly matched, Gamma Seals. You probably put in Scolding just as a way to stop the invocation cycling. Because if you stop the invocation cycling and you're both at 3 cards, then all of your cards start trading better than his do, and then you'll win. So I think it'd probably just be Scolding, Gamma Seal, and evenly matched. I'd have to see what all in your deck you need to take out.
I probably maybe should have sided out Skill Drain going second.
I actually think Skill Drain second is fine going against this deck, because they have the huge guys. A win condition for you, is to use your entire hand and then set Skill Drain, and then you can just make an Acid Golem, like I said earlier. And it's bigger than everything except for an Alistair fusion, which could be hard for them to get to. But even then, once they Alistair the fusion, then you're still just getting the guys that float from under the Acid Golem. Skill Drain is just a win condition against a ton of decks going second, which is why I think you need to play it. Floodgates in that regard, I think, are different than normal traps. Things like Anti-Spell against Pendulum is a win condition going second. Skill Drain against most things is a win condition going second. So, I think it's fine to keep it in going second against almost everything. The only deck right now that I do think it's not very good against going second is Pendulum.
Against Pendulum?
Yeah, because Purple Poison. They have way too many ways to get to it. Because Double Iris gets to the spell, and the spell gets to Purple Poison.
So he's playing left arm and zombies and stuff, so we haven't seen this in game 1, but yeah, he's kind of free to do whatever. It's pretty ballsy of him as well to left arm,
That's a fine left arm. He's got Solitaire and the Spirit Master, so even if you Ash, he's still getting a card back, which as far as your left arm getting Ash goes is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I think he misplaced here. He should have probably made Deco Talker and then grassed, but he just goes straight to Minerva first and then grasses.
I don't know why he would do that before he grasses.
He doesn't use the mill effect, but he summons Minerva, which I suppose is probably not great.
He probably just like summoned it, went to use the mill effect, and realized, oh wait, I should use grass first. Alright, that was an insane mill.
Yep. Double Mizuki. No, one Mizuki, double Wolf, Snow. Yeah, he's in a really good position. I'm not really sure like what I'd be hoping to top deck at this point, really, to come back. Like a board wipe, really?
You'd want to draw like a BA monster and then have Foolish Burial BA monster skill drain, and then that's like your win condition.
Yeah. He mills Destrudo as well. And he makes Borreload.
Skill drain is like fine in these situations. This is like a perfect example of how skill drain is like one of the only ways you can win going second sometimes, because BA is really bad at breaking boards. So like sometimes you just don't break the board and you can set a floodgate.
Mm.
All right, there's no way this was right. His board looks awful.
Yeah, based on like all his mills and stuff, I feel like he should have been doing a bit more.
Double Wolf, double Snow.
Yeah. I draw Rhino
skill drain's also really important for Snow. Which I guess he has Snow, so if he's playing like Castel or Tornado, then he should have an easy out to it. But a lot of people just won't, which is funny.
Omega's a kind of odd here. I decide to just Gamma Seal instantly because I don't even want to set cards or anything, just in case he does respond with the Omega. And I don't want to risk losing this Gamma Seal because that's the only out in like my fucking deck to Borreload.
To Borreload, yeah.
So this is a rough ride all the way through. Let's see what I go for. So he Omega's out Cycle, which is really
Cyclone.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you Desires first or Foolish first? I guess Foolish because you need the graph.
I mean,
right?
I would have Foolish graph, yeah, first.
And then he chained Snow. So like, is like I don't get it. Like, there's probably nothing I could have done here, right?
I mean, I guess I wouldn't have normaled Rhino first, so I would have like graphed for Sierra and then thought of Desired to draw your two cards, and then if you have to normal Rhino, you have to normal Rhino.
Oh, okay, right. That's good. Right. That makes sense. Okay, because then like that way you can.
But even then, I'm not sure what you could have drawn off of it.
Well,
but if you draw another, I don't know. It's not great.
I think the only way that I could have had a chance here was if I maybe Desired and then drew two BAs and then
if you drew two BAs, yeah, you special one, he books one, and then you normal Rhino and then special the other, and then you could make something set skill drain.
And then so I think that was probably like the only way I could have won there. Well, that's actually really bad.
But even then, he can still do like the activate Tornado Dragon and then chain to Snow, the other Snow from the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
So
I drew Tour Guide, so that was useless, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I guess BA Tour Guide was also a really good one.
Does that do anything if I could have did that? If I did that
no,
differently?
I mean, hypothetically, if he did normal, probably not. In all honesty, as long as he knows to do Tornado Dragon Banish now, then. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, scoop it up and then go to game 3. I guess you would probably want to go first, right?
Yeah, of course. You're playing Floodgates.
Oh, you had Spirit Master as well, so Snow didn't even matter. Drain didn't even matter. So this is a sick hand, right? What do you do here?
You like probably have to normal Tour Guide, which is unfortunate because if you get Ash here, you lose. But like against so
I totally did this wrong. I should have went Tour Guide first. Right?
I think you had to go Tour Guide first. Like if you get Ashed, you lose, but I don't think you can afford to special the 2 BAs and make Dante and pass with your only card being Ash against a Lightsworn deck, like a 60 card deck. Because if he has like any 2 good cards, then you lose. Did you Tour Guide for Seer?
Yeah. I think that Tour Guide 2BAs makes Decode Beatrice, right?
Yeah, I don't like doing it that turn one though. The only reason I'd ever do that turn one is if you have a floodgate that you need to protect with decode. Because against the Lightsworn deck, you're just giving them 2 extra monster zones, which isn't good. I also probably wouldn't have had Gamma Seal on going first.
Okay. I think I was just really, really scared of like, I don't know, just all these like big boss monsters that they can make, like all these like level 8 synchros and things like that. Which is probably wrong, I guess.
Yeah,
But
and I don't think this is super great too because you've already used your tour guide, right? So to even like get at like use of the next extra monster zone, you have to have tour guide. Especially now since you just barbared Livik, now you have like no way to make another extra like an extra deck card. And your Beatrice only has one material, which I don't think is very good. Like you need all your Beatrice effects right now since it's the only powerful card in your PA extra deck.
so you think this was wrong? It was. I guess it was just like really greedy, right?
I don't even know about greedy. Like, I just don't think it was super great. It was generous to give him the other extra monster zone.
Okay.
But yeah, no, but it's like if you have like anti-spell going against Pendulum, then you would make this play. But like you have nothing to protect from being targeted, so there's no real reason to Decode Talker.
For Decode Talker, yeah, okay. So he goes Meltdown into Alistair. Get Invocation. I don't have anything worthwhile on my... Oh, well, I guess I have an Earth. So he can make the
I
big
mean, that's
guy.
fine. If he Earths, then I just let him attack the Beatrice.
I think I let him search the Invocation.
And that's fine. There's nothing he can make like from your graveyard that you care about.
Yeah, I think...
and it's much more important to stop something like Grass.
Yeah, like I think I was just more scared of like Desires or just any kind of like really good bomb spell in 60 cards. He pitches Wolf and he makes Merkaba. In hindsight, you maybe probably... Well, putting it in the decode zone's probably wrong. You think he's doing the right play here? Well, I guess you can't see his hand and stuff, but...
Yeah.
Merkaba. So he's gonna attack into Decode Talker and then drop the Honest.
Okay.
That's fine, right? Like, I mean, that's probably...
Yeah, and he... yeah, that was not super great on his part. I don't know what he could have done differently, but that was not good. Oop, anti-spell.
Anti-spell drawn and the Kaiju for the Merkaba.
Yeah. I don't know, this was got rewarded a little bit.
First sight of the
Gamma
Kaiju?
Seal and yeah.
I don't think it's the worst thing ever going first. Like, obviously it's dead and completely useless on turn 1, but I mean, like, against, like, decks like this, like, they just have a lot of, like, really spooky monsters that they make mid-game.
But even then, like, it's just not super great to be choosing to go first.
Mm-hmm.
And then keeping cards that have like absolutely no impact when your BA cards aren't really high impact themselves. So like that's why you have to play so many Floodgates, Ashes. That's why you play 3 Cosmic, 3 Twin, like all those non-engine cards, is because the engine cards themselves don't really do that much compared to like every other engine in the game right now.
Yeah. So he had a set Cosmic and he hits my anti-spell in the end phase. Would you have done something differently there? Would you have used Beatrice at all? Because I just went straight to battle phase and attacked. And
No, I wouldn't have used Beatrice. Since you only have one material, you'd like need to keep it for his turn.
Okay. He summons Gozuki here, which I don't think really does anything on its own. All it does is send a zombie to his grave, which doesn't...
Yeah, you do, that's fine.
So I let that go. And then he just sets and passes, which...
Yeah, I have no clue why he made the Mechaba and discarded the Alistair on the first turn.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fiend.
What would you make in that? It's like he probably just... I think the only thing he could have done differently was like make the vanilla to attack over the decode.
Even that would have been fine.
So I've drawn Anti-Spell here, Vanity's Fiend rather. Do you approach this differently at all, or? Because I don't think I summon it until next turn.
Looks like you're summoning it this turn, sending Libic.
I banished the Libic.
Oh, no, sorry, you banished Libic on the first turn, yeah.
So I think I send Skarm. So I use it here because in my mind I'm like, okay, I need to set this Vanity's Fiend up, so I need to bring out some fodder, but I don't want to tribute over Beatrice.
You could have, I think what I would have done is, if you wanted to summon the Vanity's Fiend, instead of like normally it's here to do it next turn, I just would have sent Farfa with Beatrice, banished itself, special 2 BAs, made Grand Pulse, popped the last set, in case it wasn't out for the Vanity's Fiend, and then normal the Vanity's Fiend, and then the Beatrice comes back in the end phase. And then if he has a board wipe or something to clear the Vanity's Fiend, then your Beatrice triggers. And then if he doesn't, then you have the Farfa that you add back with Dante on the next turn to just normal summon and banish whatever he normal sets, and then you'd attack for game, because he'd be at 2,400 less right now.
Wow, that's pretty next level. I never would have thought to like Farfa the Beatrice itself and then special 2. Yeah, that's actually, yeah, because then you get to actually play with your hand. Because that's a problem with Vanity's Fiend. It's like after you summon it, like you generally like can't do anything with all your card advantage, pretty much. He summons the plant here, and then that just gets ashed, and I don't think he really has anything else he can do.
Yeah, it's not looking too great.
I cheekily ask him if that's GG, but he continues to play. Gozuki, send another Mizuki. It's not really doing much, and then just pass turn. Cosmic Cyclone. Tribute Vanity's Fiend. Abaxir. Did I do that wrong? Just going straight into a tribute summon of Vanity's Fiend?
I mean, I probably would have Cosmic the set first, because God knows what you could possibly lose to. But yeah.
Okay.
There's nothing in his Lightsworn deck that you would use Cosmic Cyclone for to protect your Vanity's Fiend, but he could have something set that would get rid of your Vanity's Fiend right now when you summon it, so I would have Cosmic that, since you're probably not getting any value out of it anyway.
I probably shouldn't have kept it in, actually.
I think it's fine going first. You went first this game, right? Because I don't know what all you had to take out. I probably, if you didn't have enough things to put in, I would have taken out Twin and kept in Cosmic, because you're hitting Meltdown and Brilliant Fusion, which is like 9.
I think the only options going first would have been like Scolding, Reaper. I really wanted Reaper, but I don't have any sighted targets, which sucks. And then this is pretty much game, normal Farfa, attack. Okay. So yeah, that's the duel, guys. If you've watched this far, then please comment down below with a deck that you would like to see. I think it's very likely I'm going to be doing Lightsworn next with JY, so look out for that. That's probably the next one. But do leave some suggestions down below for which deck you'd like to be coached, and by who as well, if there's any particular players you're interested in seeing. Big thank you to Noah for joining me for this, and for helping out with the BA. So I hope this has been really beneficial to some of you, and that you've got a bit of an insight and understanding of how the better players in the community approach their games and how they think through their plays and stuff. So comment, like, subscribe down below, and see you next time.